Hey Thrivers, it's Andrea coming at you with another episode this week. How's everybody been? Have you had a good week? Mine was pretty good. It's finally spring here where I live. Everything's starting to look green and beautiful. And like I said last week, it kind of reminds me of renewal, which is really cool. Who doesn't like to see everything being all healthy and beautiful and starting over? But this week I wanted to talk to you about my 75 hard journey. Some of you may have heard that term before. It's kind of been floating all around social media, especially on Instagram. But I wanted to talk about what is 75 hard. Why did I do it? I wanted to talk about what is 75 hard. What was the reel I saw on Instagram that finally pushed me over the edge to do it? Because I had thought about doing it, and then I kind of had a whole bunch of self-doubt, and I was like, I can't do that's insane. And when you hear the list, you might think it's insane too. Most people in my life have thought I was crazy. I said, I can't do that. And then I saw this one reel on Instagram, and it pushed me over the edge to finally commit and say I would do it. I wanted to talk about times when it hurt and times when it felt so damn good and it's changed me. I wanted to talk about how my kid and my puppy felt about it. They had moments where they loved it and moments where they hated it. I finally had to come to grips with myself, and I wanted to talk about this in a small part too. I finally had to come to grips with my emotional eating, and I had to come face to face with the hard things. Because when you emotionally eat and occasionally emotionally drink, that's what you're doing. You're stifling and numbing the hard things. Until you come face to face with that shit, it will be in your life and in your head and affect you forever. It's like this little tiny... Did you guys ever see those Weight Watcher ads years ago? I forget how many years. It was like 18 years ago or something. They had those Weight Watcher ads on TV with that campaign with the yellow... not yellow, he was orange. The big orange monster. He kind of looked like a great big, Sesame Street character or something. This big orange monster that chased this woman around everywhere she went. And he was always supposed to have unhealthy food and holding it up in her face. Well, that's the way your trauma is, and your bad times, and your self-esteem triggers, and, everything like that until you face them. They'll follow you around for life. And when I was forced to stop numbing out, when I accepted this challenge, I had to face them. And I found out things about myself I didn't know I had. I didn't know how strong I was. I didn't know how hardworking I could be. I don't know if any of you have ever read Erin Brockovich's book. She put it out, like 19 years ago or something. And my then boyfriend at the time bought it for me for Christmas because he knew how much I loved her. I love Erin Brockovich. I think she's an amazingly strong woman, and I just absolutely love her. Yes, I've seen the movie many, many times, but if you've not read the book, get her book and read it. It's called Life's a Game, But You Can Win. I'll send a link to it around so you guys can find it. Like I said, it's an old book. You could probably get it used pretty cheap, but it's so worth the read. But there's a chapter in there where she kind of invented a word. She called it stick-to-itiveness. I didn't know I had stick-to-itiveness until I tried this challenge.
She was the first one that told me, you got to have stick-to-itiveness, which is still my favorite word today.
Which is actually in the dictionary.
It is. Noun, propensity
Right.
to follow through in a determined manner, dogged persistence born of obligation and stubbornness. I'm like, wow, that's all you had to say to me, Mom. And I truly became the little engine that could. I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can.
I have a pretty good reputation of starting things and not finishing them. And this was my time. This was when I swore to myself I was going to start this and not stop until I finished it. It was going to happen. So what is 75 Hard? 75 Hard is a challenge not for fitness, not for weight loss, not for eating better. 75 Hard is a challenge for mental toughness. It was created by a guy named Andy Frisella. If you don't know who he is, just look him up. Frisella. He's tough. He's brash, and he tells it like it is. So do not listen to him around the little ones, because he, like I said, he's brash, so he will curse a lot. But he gets it done, and he's able to stick to things and to be strong and to not give up. And you need those skills in life. Those are life skills. Those aren't skills for losing weight. Those are life skills. And I thought, what would happen if I just didn't quit? What would happen if I finished this? And I wanted to find out. So the challenge is basically this. You have to work out twice a day, 45 minutes apiece. One of your workouts has to be outside. You can do any workout. He says, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. He said, if you're in a wheelchair, go outside and wheel around the block for 45 minutes. You just have to do 45 minutes, and one of them has to be outside. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous. One of my workouts every single day usually was walking. I would either take my dog and my daughter out, or if I was at work, I would walk with my best friend. We walked every day outside. So it doesn't have to be anything that's going to kill you. But you have to do 2 workouts, and one of them has to be outside, and they're 45 minutes apiece. You cannot have a cheat meal, not even once, for 75 days. You have to follow some kind of healthy eating plan. He doesn't outline what that is. He just says you have to follow an eating plan. I did Amanda Nighbert's carb cycling, her lean plan. I had done that years ago, and it's very, very realistic. And what does she call it? She's got a word for it. You can stick to it long term. The word is escaping me, but it's manageable. It's good for real life. It's something that you can do every single day and not feel deprived and not feel like it's too hard. Like, I can't do keto forever. I don't know anybody that can do keto forever. So she has you carb cycle, which is awesome. So I followed that. You cannot have alcohol, not even one time for 75 days. You have to drink 1 gallon of water every day. You have to read 10 pages of a self-improvement or entrepreneurial nonfiction book every day. Something that will help you be a better you. Andy says, you can't be reading, what did he say? You can't be reading effing 5 Shades of Grey. Yeah, you can't read fiction, and you can't read something that's a waste of your time. You have to read something that makes you better. And you have to take a picture of yourself every day as your progress photo. So that's in a nutshell, basically, what the program is. So it was January 15th, I think it was, of this year. And I had been thinking about this, and I would look at that list, and I would listen to him talk, and I was like, but he's so much, stronger than me. He's so much tougher than me. He's a dude. I can't do, all the negative self-talk, you know how you talk yourself right out of things just because you don't want to do them. It's not because you can't. It's because you just don't want to. And I had just looked at that list and listened to his podcast like over and over again going, am I going to really attempt this? And I don't know if you guys know who Mel Robbins is, but if you follow me, I absolutely adore her. I absolutely love her. And she posted this reel on Instagram that talked about how if you were having a hard time, which I had been for 2 years, this has been the toughest 3 years of my life. No doubt about it. And I was watching this reel, and she's like, if you're having a tough time and you don't see an end, take on a challenge. Do something really hard. Take a distraction that pushes you to be better. And I was like, you know what? She's giving me a sign.
If you feel stuck right now, if you feel like you're in a rut, if you just got dumped or fired, or you're going through a divorce, or you're just feeling kind of lost in life, you have no clue what you want to do, here's a tip from your friend Mel Robbins. If you don't know what to do in that situation, sign up for something challenging. Train for a marathon. Commit to doing something that feels hard as hell and that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. Something that forces you to add something new to your life. See, what's interesting about a challenge of something scary and hard is it forces you to level up, because you won't be successful adding this challenge into your life and completing the goal if you don't change your life.
I start on the 17th. I'm going to do this thing. And I started on the 17th of January. That was my first day. And at first it starts off, you're like, this isn't so bad. Andy always says, mother effer come back to me in 40 days and tell me how easy it is. He's absolutely right about that. It starts off pretty, you're feeling good. You're like, this is healthy. I can do this. And it's, like I said, I started to see a little bit of weight loss. After like 2 weeks, I'd lost 4 pounds. It's like, this is going pretty well. Yeah, around day 30, I had a torn right ACL, had surgery on it when I was 14. It started to kill me. And I had to evaluate the kind of workouts I was doing and be like, well, I need to tweak some things here, because my knee is just going to buckle out from under me. I'd have mornings where I'd get up and I couldn't walk across the room because my knee hurt so bad. So I had to figure out things, and I would ice it. A couple of my friends know I would message them at night and be like, well, I'm talking to you while I'm icing my knee because it hurts so bad. But I made it through that. In the beginning of February, I got COVID. And boy, I thought I was down for the count. Anybody who's had COVID, at least my experience, I can't speak to everyone's experience, but my experience with COVID is that it drained all my energy. I mean, I had like zero energy to do anything, but I pushed through. I said, okay, I can walk and I can lay down on the floor on a mat and lift weights. And that's what I did. 45 minutes, either laying on my side or laying on my back, and then getting up for a few minutes and lifting weights, free weights. That's what I did when I had COVID. And I would walk for 45 minutes outside. So I didn't quit even when I had COVID. And I'm pretty proud that I didn't let that defeat me, because I thought I was going to have to quit. My dog and my daughter didn't care for it at first. They weren't used to it. They weren't used to mom working out at all, let alone twice a day. So, especially when it was the end of January, beginning of February, and I was working out outside on the back porch, they were like, are you absolutely crazy, Mom? What are you doing? My dog would stand at the back door and just bark. I mean, he would just bark his little head off on a Saturday morning, like, what are you doing out there? And powering through that was tough, because I felt bad that they were just not used to it and didn't care for Mom being outside on the back porch in the freezing cold. But it's made me such a better mom, because now she asks me, when are we going to go walk? When are you going to work out with me? My 9-year-old is learning the importance of exercise, and I couldn't possibly be happier about that. I mean, that's a skill she'll need for life. Taking care of your physical body is something that we all need to do. Whether or not we do it is another thing, but it's something we all should do. Just for good health, not even for vanity, but just to be healthy and to be around for as long as we can. Like I said earlier, you guys, this has been the toughest 3 years of my life, between the divorce and coming face to face with some things about myself that I didn't like. When I first bought my house, the stress was serious. And it still is, but I deal with it differently now than I did then. Back then, I would go get something after I got off work that tasted good. I'd go get a drink that would make me feel good on nights when I didn't have my daughter. And I would forget about it. That led to even more weight gain than I had since COVID. So, when I started this journey, I had the goal of losing 75 pounds. And I've lost 25. So I've got 50 more pounds to go. And now the end is in sight. I can see it. But back then, when I would numb out, I would just forget about it for a night, and then the next day it would come right back to haunt me. So when you stop that emotional crutch of eating and drinking, and you come face to face with what a pushover you were for years and years, and how you gave up on so many things to make someone else happy, and how you never finish anything you start, it'll make you change real quick. Andy Frisella always says on his show, you will not come out of this the same person. And I think he is absolutely right about that, because I'm not the same as I was at the beginning of January, which is crazy to say because this is just the beginning of April, but I'm not the same. And your feelings can't be numbed when you face them. And I did a good job with every single workout of facing them. You always see that thing on Instagram that says something like, people always use emotional eating to forget, and exercise is the most underused antidepressant on the planet. Something like that. And that is so true in my case, because the exercise has just made me feel so much better. Everything about my life is better because of the twice-a-day exercise. Now, when the challenge ended, I dropped the second workout because now I'm trying to get more sleep. That's my next goal, is to get more sleep and involve more other things with my little one. There's other things that she wants to be doing besides working out every night. So I'm only working out once a day now. But it's just something that I can't live without now. And I'm so glad, because I used to hate it. I used to absolutely hate it. And like Zumba dancing is my thing. I don't know if any of you guys know me, but if you know me well, you know that's my thing. And I was just like, when I started the challenge back, when I was in the middle of the challenge, I was like, how did I live without this? Because Zumba lights me on fire. Not just Zumba, any kind of dancing, any kind of dance aerobics lights me up. And it's just the best. It is the best stress reliever ever. And I don't intend to live without it ever again. If you guys ever see me at a party, try to dance with me. You know I'll follow along. I'll dance back. But all this to say that I found an Andrea that I didn't know was real. Mostly because I'd been told for years and years that she just didn't have what it took to accomplish something like this. And she had all these issues. Well, of course she has issues. She's human. I'm human just like everybody else, but I'm much, much more capable than I've ever been given credit for. I'm stronger than I thought. I'm 25 pounds lighter. I know that I can start something and finish it. I mean, one of the best qualities you can have in life is that you do what you say you're going to do. That people can rely on you, people can trust you, people know that you're a person of your word, and I have that now. I didn't have it before. So I will include Andy's podcast episode. Like I said, don't listen to it around your grandma or your little ones, because he is no holds barred. A lot of F-bombs and honesty, but he's real, and the challenge has changed everything. And I'm so grateful for it. And I want to thank you guys for listening to me talk about it. If you have questions about it, just Google it, or you can feel free to message me on Instagram or email me at supergirlthrive777@gmail.com, and I'll try to answer you if it's something I can answer. But I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the challenge. I'm thankful that I took it on. I'm thankful that I did it. And if you want to be better, take on any challenge. It doesn't have to be this one. If you hear this and you're like, good gracious, are you out of your ever-loving mind? I can't do that. I get it, because I thought the same thing. But if a single mom who's working 2 jobs can do it, you can do it. And I just want to thank you all for sticking with me and learning about it. I'm going to wait a while, and then I'm going to do phase 2, because he has a phase 2. Some things get added in, like taking a cold shower and doing random acts of kindness, which is really neat. And so I'm going to do that, but I'm going to rest a little bit. I think I've earned it. I will not stop the working out or the eating right, but I'm going to cut back on that second workout for a while, get more sleep. But thank you guys for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. Stay tuned for next week, And just know I love you. And I want you to go out there this week and thrive. Love you guys. Talk soon.
Because a lot of people are going to say, well, this shit's easy. This is easy. It is easy for one day. It's real easy for 2 days. Okay? We can push ourselves way past what we think we're capable of. It is a mental toughness skill development program. All right? And if you follow it, if you start at day 1 and you follow it to day 75, you will I can almost guarantee you will lead a very successful, impactful life in every area.
Yeah.
Most people can't do it. Most people won't be able to finish the program. They will not finish it. They will not. They're not supposed to. This isn't supposed to be something that people can finish. This is supposed to be a program that literally less than 1% of people truly complete, but that 1% is 1,000,000% better for it. That's the goal of this. Okay? It's not easy.
Thank you guys so much for listening to Supergirl Thrives. If you like this content, please rate and review me. It helps others find me. I love all of you, and come and see me next week. Follow the show. You never know where we might end up.